All right, guys, so bad news, bad news. The relays came in. I changed them out for new ones. Everything was all good. Relays were in there. The bike still did not prime. It still did not prime. So the next thing I did was I got my trusty Wii Pro, and that's what you'll need if you want to successfully check all of your fuses, every single one of them. You want to check your fuse box to make sure that it has power going to it, everything there. You got some extra fuses here. You got another fuse there. Checked all my fuses, they were good. So what I had to do was, had to take off my Joker machine, had to take off the tank, which is right here. On both sides, had to loosen those bolts on both sides. Had to come out and take the seat off. Had to take the seat off first, which is right here. There's a little bolt right there. Take that off. Then you have to undo these. Then you can take the tank off. I drained the tank. I drained it. Here's the tank here. I went ahead and pulled, I looked inside. I don't know if you can really see inside there, but I won't say it's terribly rusty. I don't even know if that's really rust. It just looks like residue, so I'm going to clean it out. There's a little rust, I guess. I'm gonna clean it out really good. But this was the problem that I'm sure now. This, my friends, is the fuel pump. This is the fuel pump. Now, I'm kind of shocked, but I'm not really shocked. This is what's gonna happen if you leave just gas sitting in your tank. So I took this out. As you can see, it is completely trashed. Look at that, the seals on everything gone, eroded. And the electrical is probably bad as well. As you can see on top of there, it's got a lot of crap on there. But the telling sign right here is that. Look at that. All the dry cracking and just sitting in gasoline over the years. And then there's the filter. It's literally disintegrated. So I was back and forth on the fence about changing this because I really wasn't sure if it was actually this or not. This is going to cost like over $200+ to fix. If I forgot the company, but they make replacements, OEM replacements. If you go through Harley, just this piece alone, the cord with this, the electrical part, just that alone, I believe is like over $360. And then the rest of the parts will probably cost you a little over $100. So if you go through Harley, you're probably gonna be spending upwards of over $400 for sure, close to $500 with tax and all that stuff. So I went ahead and found another company, but I was on the fence about it because I wasn't sure. I was hoping that I would just need to replace the filter. Now, I just think that it is completely gone. I don't want to replace this. I don't want to replace the regulator. I don't want to replace the pump. I don't really know at this point. The only reason why I don't want to do it is because if you buy the entire assembly, you just stick it back in and you're done. If you buy all the parts, you have to basically rebuild it yourself. And it's not a big deal at this point because everything needs to go, but it's just, my biggest issue is how well is this cable holding up, and does it still hold up, the electrical? And I just don't want to play around with that, so just gonna get it replaced and drop it in. I checked this part prior, and you probably can't see it. Maybe you can see it, but the O-ring, the lower O-ring is completely gone. It's completely shot. So that one was out of there. I was gonna try to get the parts to rebuild that part because I was thinking, oh, maybe it's just the valve. And once I clean the valve, it'll be good. But no. the whole thing needs to go, man. Same with this piece as well. This is your quick connect here to your injectors. This is your quick connect. I thought it was clogged. I thought the whole line, the fuel line, was clogged because once I popped this off, it looked like jelly, like crude oil in there, and that O-ring had also disintegrated into mush. So I'm gonna order a new one of these, and while the tank is off the bike, as you can see, it's super easy. Just take it off there and replace it. Sorry, it's the trash truck. So I'm gonna just take that off of there and replace it. This is about 50 bucks. I think you can get it from JP Cycle. You're gonna replace that. Make sure if you have a Sportster 48 to get the exact one for the Sportster 48. Do not get the one for the Nightster or other Sportsters. Be very careful when you're looking up the parts. I would suggest going to the Harley Davidson website, parts website, to search up the exact part numbers for your stuff. So I'm gonna replace that. It's gonna be about 50 bucks. Gonna replace this. Hold on, that's the FedEx. I'm gonna replace this. It's gonna be over $200, like $220 something maybe. One second. What's going on, man? Appreciate it. Thank you. This is gonna be over about 240 bucks. I think it was like 220 something from that company. And honestly, it should work after replacing, obviously, this one for sure. But since you're doing, if you're gonna do this, you might as well just do the whole fuel line. So yeah, those parts together is what I'm gonna use. It sucks. Now, if you are only having an issue with the valve, the quick connect disconnect valve, and you are needing more washers, you can actually go, bought them this morning because I was just hoping this was going to be the issue. You can actually go to O'Reilly's and get the metric O-rings, and they have smaller O-rings that will exactly fit these valves. So you can replace it in this one, and you can also replace it on the fuel line. So that's a little bit of advice for you guys. If you were having issues, again, my issues, if you saw the last video, was that the fuel was not priming as it used to, and the relays, obviously the first check, didn't happen, didn't work. So had to move on to the next thing, man. So, you know, unfortunately, it's gonna cost me another pretty penny to get this back up and running. But again, this thing hasn't been running since 2017. And I'm an idiot for leaving the gas sitting in there. The little bit, I thought I had most of the gas out, but the little bit of gas that was sitting in there obviously just completely rotted the pump. And now I gotta clean it out. So what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna cover this back up. I'm gonna cover this bad boy back up. I'm gonna take this stuff off of here. Gonna keep the plate, right? Gonna keep the plate, keep the bung here or whatever, keep that on there. Take this off, and then I'm gonna put it back in so I can seal it. Then I'm simply just gonna turn it back over and begin the cleaning process. I'm gonna begin the cleaning process. I'm gonna use baking soda, vinegar, and distilled water, boiling water, and try to definitely get it out of there as much as possible. Probably rinse it about a good 5-6 times, and let it sit, let it dry, get most of that gasoline out before I blow dry it, to get all that, most of that water out. I was considering getting a whole nother tank, but the sludge in there doesn't look very bad at all. Looks like it'll come out pretty well. So that'll save me another close to $200 for a raw finished one. Looks like it still should be good once I'm done. But yeah, and then we're just gonna get it back on there. So I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get this thing back up and running. I already spent 200 bucks on the battery and to get that thing going, and it didn't work. So once all that's done and it actually is running up again, I'm gonna just take this time to completely redo the bike myself, change the brake fluid. Gonna have to go back and change the oil again. Luckily I still have oil over there and filter, an extra filter. So I'm gonna just do that, and once it actually gets running again, I'm just gonna really clean it up and enjoy the ride, I guess. I'm debating whether or not I should go ahead and just replace the spark plugs as well. Probably gonna do that as well. Everything seems really easy to do once the tank is off. So if you are considering putting a tank lift on, I had a 3-inch tank lift, I would definitely do it. I would definitely do your Speedo relocator at the same time, because it goes through the same column. What else? Ignition relocation, if you want to do that. I'm probably not going to do that because I like having access. I like having access to the fuel. And when you have that thing sitting right here, the ignition recall, it looks like a pain in the ass if you ever need to get back to this. So I'm going to leave it on the stock side. Yeah, and then probably while I'm down here, I'm probably going to try to work on some line rerouting and tucking all the lines while I already got it basically disassembled. So yeah, it's gonna be a little project. I'm not even gonna be in a rush. This has been neglected for a while, so might as well do the right thing and take care of it the correct way. But make sure you get a battery tender, and make sure that battery stays nice and cranked. The stupid security system loves to drain the battery. I figured that out the hard way many times, and unfortunately it wasn't just the battery this time, it was everything. So yeah guys, painful lesson here, a very painful lesson here. Do not leave gas in your tank and not ride your bike for over 12 months. I would probably say don't even do it for like 6 to 8 months. I wouldn't even do it. So yeah, another time-consuming project, but hopefully I get everything washed out today and air dried over the next couple days or whatever, however long it takes for me to get the parts in and get this thing back up and running. But definitely sucks. Don't let this be you. Don't let this be you. This sucks. Anyways, catch you in the next one.